in case you confused it for Sydney, Illinois.
I beg you, Dmitri, come to Sydney and accompany me to Atlanta immediately.
Seriously, Vladimir asks his friend to come to Sydney just so that he can then get on another plane to fly to Atlanta. There's virtually no reason for this, except that Dmitri is a bad guy who's going to crash the plane to kickstart the plot. Also, 20 hours, you've got to fly from Sydney to Atlanta? Why f***ing Atlanta? And why can't you just go to LA to prove the antidote works? Hey, is that Tom Cruise's cousin? I wonder how he got this job.
Ulrich, remember to pull the...
Sure, there's a microchip on this sticker, but how does that broadcast a different voice? Pilot luckily wakes up just in time to not be able to pull this plane up in time anyway. Look, I don't care who you are not climbing a rock face this sheer. Look at where he is right now. Where the f*** is he going to go? This shot is a f***ing lie. See? They just cut to a completely different rock face in this angle, because the previous one, as I said, was unclimbable. Movie thinks that if it plays Ico Ico while we watch Tom Cruise, we'll confuse this with Rain Man. Nope. In just 4 years, the IMF has graduated its mission delivery system from high-8 tapes to Super HD wireless Oakleys.
The next time you go on holiday, please be good enough to let us know where you're going.
How did these assholes ever find him? Even if Ethan casually mentioned to his CIA coworkers that he likes climbing mountains in Utah, they would still have needed to find a needle in a haystack in an exact location at the same time he was climbing them. Also, let's start our movie with some impossible stunt that has nothing to do with the plot whatsoever, and then justify it when a helicopter flies by and gives Ethan his mission orders. If Tom Cruise's long hair didn't do it, opening credits go overboard and letting you know this is the rock and roll Mission Impossible. Tandy Newton isn't... I'm sorry, what were we talking about? Well, good thing this girl Ethan's supposed to recruit is also curious about him. Is that part of his IMF training? Animal magnetism? Is this dancer even in this shot? Or is she digitally inserted to make Tandy Newton and Tom Cruise look like a green screen, f***ed a blue screen, and had kids? She planned her burglary around a percussive dance number? How much research did that take? She'd have to find out about this party, get herself invited, and make sure the entertainment is loud enough to accommodate her burglary needs.
Do you mind if I'm on top?
Somebody said, we need to make the Mission Impossible movies more like James Bond, so let's half-ass some innuendos and call it a day.
It is Mr. Keys, our security engineer. Apologize!
If Ethan is known as a security engineer in this place, wouldn't the guys holding guns know that? And if they weren't introduced, how are they supposed to know? Also, my brain explodes thinking about how Ethan infiltrated this place and made them believe they needed him as a security engineer. And he did this in 48 hours, minus the time it took him to travel from the middle of the desert on top of a cliff in Utah to Spain, because that's all the time Anthony Hopkins' voice gave him.
Where did you get this number? I don't even have it.
I'm guessing she stole this car, and that's why she doesn't have the number. But if she did steal it, why is she answering the phone? Where the f*** is he coming from? And how did he know she would be driving down this road today at this very moment? I can understand maybe following her, but knowing she'd be driving down this road at this exact time? This amazing thief is predictable as
Pull over and listen to me, will you?
Movie thinks you can have a casual conversation at high speeds where everybody hears each other clearly.
You gotta catch me!
That sounds like a bullshit reason to extend this scene. This movie is so stealing James Bond that somewhere at the end of this road, James Bond is waiting for them and ready to put a bullet in them. Also, it's amazing how dangerous this road gets as soon as they start drag racing. A minute ago, they could drive side by side like they were on a closed set. Well, both these cars were near the edge, but maybe if we just spin them both a bunch and forever, no one will remember what's going on. Is this movie actively trying to get me to take a nap right now? Not that I wouldn't kiss either of these two in pretty much any given situation, but this kissing seems sudden and forced and sudden. I just f***ed a criminal face.
Damn, you're beautiful.
What the f*** movie am I watching?
Well, you're sorry, and I'm sorry.
Why did you phrase it like that?
Ethan says something perfectly normal, but it just happens to connect to something that Vladimir shoehorns into his message to Dmitri.
I can entrust this to no one but you, as we say. I'm sorry. And you are sorry.
That's a saying? Why did you say it in this instance? You're the one asking for the favor here. What does Dmitri have to be sorry for? Hans Zimmer warms up his Dark Knight score 8 years in advance.
You made it sound as if I was recruiting her for her skills as a thief.
Well, then I misled you, or you made the wrong assumption.
When giving our agents missions, we feel it's best to keep them in the dark as much as possible. Also, so that when you're recruiting a hot jewel thief, you'll bang her and complicate the whole get back together with Ambrose plot.
She's got no training for this kind of thing.
But to go to bed with a man and lie to him, she's a woman. She's got all the training she needs.
That's racist.
You mean it'll be difficult?
Very.
Well, this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you.
First off, if you're cheekily telling him it's not mission difficult, that it is in fact mission impossible, then you cannot sell him on the fact that it's merely difficult. And second off, roll credits. Once again, simple candlelight dinner requires way more candles than it needs. Also, did he give her a romantic dinner and then say, hey, you want to look at wreckage of that plane that crashed into the Rockies?
Generally, I don't favor coercing someone, not when there's a chance my life could end up in their hands.
But performing dangerous car stunts on a road where you could fall to your death, all in the name of recruiting a person for a job, I'm all for that.
Would it make you feel any better if I didn't want you to do this?
Yeah, much.
Then feel better!
Two people who f***ed one time argue like an old married couple.
This transponder chip is completely untraceable. It's your location to a satellite, which can be read by only this computer.
So you're saying it's not completely untraceable then, right? since you can trace it. How is that possible? This numeric keypad is unlike any other numeric keypad. There are letters on the 1 digit. And what the hell are these letters on the pound key, 0 key, and star key?
And I guarantee that after that airline crash, he's monitoring every one of them.
Because when you're a disgraced CIA operative, you still have access to things like that.
He knows you're there, and he has the means to get you out.
But we'll gloss over exactly how he breaks you out of a Spanish prison from Sydney and take you straight there.
Naya, I'm not gonna lose you.
I f***ed you one time, mostly because my job compelled me to, but still, I now consider you kin. Character introductions via database search, intercut by shots of kangaroos, just so you know you're in Australia. Mission Impossible 2 is not above joke.
This ain't funny. Just bought these $800 Gucci shoes.
And you wore them to the desert for an IMF mission? And you're complaining because, also, these are just bought $800 Gucci shoes? You gotta be f***ing kidding me.
Yeah, I heard about you, Luther.
Discount Simon Pegg.
Isn't there any way we can speed this up?
Why wasn't Luther and the other guy already in Sydney way before Naya got out of prison? You call him out here right when she's getting to Sydney? Hell, why not track her the whole way?
Ethan, here we go.
Got it up just in the nick of time to break your heart.
Now there's a bloke who knows how to give a proper welcome.
I really had no reason to say that, other than hopefully it rubs salt in wounds I don't know you have.
No flies on her. No bugs either. No transmissions.
You know, I know the movie said the transponder was untraceable and could only be read by a certain computer, but wouldn't a scan like this at least show that something was being transmitted, even if they couldn't read it? Cameraman misreads the script and zooms in on the wrong character during this scene.
You're not interested in seeing how it looks?
Oh, I am. Little.
So, while they had sex, did Ethan watch a tiny yellow dot move forward 3 inches, then back 3 inches, and so on and so forth during the whole thing? My thief girlfriend is banging her criminal ex-boyfriend, Sunset.
One considers her timing, of course. Getting nicked within a week of the plane going down.
Man, Ambrose would be excellent at cinema sins, but he'll choose to ignore this because the power of boners is stronger. Here's another movie where Hollywood thinks we can't tell a villain's craziness without him torturing and or killing one or more of his own henchmen. Ethan, who Ambrose knows well, decides not to wear a mask to the track for some reason because, well, what are the odds?
Ambrose just pulled the camera's memory card and put it into an envelope.
Is the movie just narrating to me things that happened 5 seconds prior? Is this real life?
Hold on.
It then takes an unnecessarily tense 15 seconds for Ambrose to say,
Put down 1,000 for me.
why does this set of double doors have a push and a pull door right next to each other? And why is he able to push the door that is clearly a pull door on the other side?
Don't turn around.
Yeah, that would be suspicious. Like my face. Biosite would like you to know that this illegal virus they created is highly dangerous. And for God's sake, don't steal their images, because they will sue your ass.
You picked another winner!
Is this movie suggesting that the CIA rigs horse races? Or that their research is so good they can predict the winners of horse races? This fake newspaper actually has an article written about its headline, but the second column repeats paragraphs that are clearly seen in the first column. Also, why did Ethan bother getting a fake newspaper written? Especially since he's going to talk to McCloy in a fake hospital later, implying that he's been infected with the virus anyway. Man, that is paying attention to some serious dramatic detail. So this is Ambrose posing as Ethan so that he can get information out of Naya. But don't they have a satellite following her every move, at least when she's outside? Can't Luther see that fake Ethan is talking to her right now?
I need it now, you whacked-out Russian gypsy!
That's racist. By the way, it's absolutely incredible that Ethan didn't think of a way to defend this very thing from happening, since the guy they're going after actually played the part of Ethan while he was in the CIA. A simple code word or phrase to begin any communication would have worked, like, rock hard abs, how you doing, Naya? I guess this is why Luther isn't watching Naya right now, because he's in the hospital for some reason. He's totally not needed here at this point in time. But hey, anything to keep him from seeing Naya talk to fake Ethan. This is especially galling considering that Ethan wanted her out of Ambrose's house today and no one's watching to see if she's doing it. Maybe the CIA can arrange a deal with Sydney so they can fly their helicopter around. But over a private business? If not, then what the f*** is the Australian military doing where they can't check on a rogue helicopter flying over the city?
Going now! Ethan, wait!
This is just so stupid a move for a super spy to make, it's almost unbelievable he'd do it. Oh, no, wait, it is. Although it's even stupider that Ethan's impatience alone helps Luther's mad button mashing work better this time. And at just the right second. Too bad it looks fake as shit. Also, remember how you loved this in the first movie? Here's some more of that first movie magic. I know they had only 40 seconds to get Ethan down in this thing and then clear the cable. But why isn't there any indication that the aperture is open? Why doesn't some random security guard get a warning about the aperture being open?
Ethan, the generator's about to go active. Just a friendly reminder, we'll be out of contact for 8 minutes.
Because while we've solved nearly every technological problem thrown our way, we just can't beat those damn generators breaking up our communication.
John C. McCloy.
By the way, the only reason they have John saying this is because he stupidly said his full name,
John C. McCloy.
for no reason anyone can think of except to advance the plot. Also, all this security, and the only thing you need to get inside the door is somebody saying their name? Hell, Sneakers did this better back in 1992, and the Butthole Surfers didn't write a song for that movie. Oh, so now Luther can see Naya's transponder when it's way too late. Why doesn't he have that thing tracking her anywhere else again? Laser death of the virus samples causes computer alarm voice in the lab, but does not apparently notify any security or authorities.
However we travel.
Ethan's got the last bit of virus to kill, and now's the time he starts thinking about some shit so Ambrose can catch up to him. These guys miss everything Ethan as they shoot a hail of bullets in this small enclosure. Jesus, these bad guys need the Chimera virus Ethan has with him inside this glass box. Why are they shooting at him so vigorously? Also, why did the movie show us so many scenes of Ambrose spelling out Ethan's likely plan, accurately by the way, if he's still going to show up too late to stop 90% of it? Man, even Ethan shows terrible regard for public health safety by shooting the dude holding the deadly virus in a mostly glass vial. This movie wants a pandemic to happen. Oh, come on. First off, amazing intuition from Luther there. Second off, has it been raining at all for a large puddle to be on the ground and give Luther a high-def clue that his van is about to explode? Also, as we'll soon see, Luther has much more than the time given to him to escape from this situation. Yep, it's a John Woo movie, alright. This escape was so last second, how did he avoid not getting at least a little blown up? In order to stop Ethan from retrieving the deadly disease vial, the bad guys shoot at it, naturally.
You were in such a hurry to knock off that 747, you never figured out where Chimera really was.
Yeah, and why is that? A smart CIA guy somehow doesn't realize that Vladimir could only be carrying the virus in his body, not in a briefcase? Why do you think that asshole injected himself in the first place? If he could carry it any way else, don't you think he would've? God damn it.
Hit that bloody gun and you spray the virus all over the place!
It really doesn't seem like it, though.
Somebody has been slipping you our mail.
Have they been standing there this whole time? Because remember, Ethan could see Ambrose in the mirror and everything behind him as well, so where the f were they standing? Look, nobody likes to lose an asset, but this movie makes it like Ethan super duper loves this girl after they had sex that one time.
You know women, mate. Like monkeys they are.
That's racist. It takes an explosion in the building for these security guys to all remember they have jobs. Not the lab breach, the virus death, and all the gunfire.
I'm not going to lose you!
Girl I basically just met? Why didn't he put the guns away before jumping? You know, so he could use his hands and whatnot. Are we finally out of the f***ing virus factory? Thank God. That lasted an hour, right? 17 minutes, you say? Who the f*** am I talking to? And nothing anyone in this story did for the next 12 hours mattered. Oh, look, I was wrong. Movie shoehorns in a final scene reason for showing Ethan's rock climbing earlier. Yeah, no, still stupid. Okay, so Ethan's going to climb to the building going the back way. That seems fine, until you look at the establishing shot where you see this is an island with numerous guards around. So how the hell did Ethan take a boat to the island without those guys seeing it? And if he swam, why is he completely dry?
Pretty heavy security from here.
Are they in a parked helicopter within binocular distance of this target compound? You can't land a chopper that close to something secure without raising tons of suspicion, let alone just hang there and spy on unimpeded. It's a John Woo movie, so of course a group of birds came to attend the action-packed finale.
They are going to need Bellerophon within the next few days.
Because you dropped infected Naya off in Sydney? You didn't even make sure she was going to stay put. And in fact, she did not.
When your stock goes north of 200, which it will.
Here's yet another evil villain's plan that revolves around the exciting world of stock trading. This is one step away from a real estate-based evil scheme. Pigeons flying around? That's definitely something I need to check out. One kick to the chin knocks this guy. Oh, what the f do I care? This pigeon of justice has impeccable dramatic timing. Or is the movie saying Ethan can warp?
Run that bastard down.
Run that bastard down. Hello, that sounds like a lone white dove cooing at a nearby IMF agent. Ethan starts this swing way before he could possibly know the Duke will for sure be in the doorway. But fortunately for him, the Duke read the script and steps in the way in time to make Ethan look smart.
Raise your hands very slowly.
Can you not just shoot the guy? What are you worried about? Extra jail time?
Keep it going.
Does he have to be actively doing anything on the computer at this point? Hasn't the transfer already been set in motion, and now we're just waiting for the internet data speed to do the work? It's pretty amazing that Ethan brought an Ethan mask and a Duke mask, but even more amazing that Ambrose actually sent the Duke out after Ethan so that Ethan would look smart for having brought the right masks. This is also probably a good time to mention that these incredibly useful masks could have been used a million times in other situations, but totally weren't until the movie needed a surprise reveal. Sure, there's a room full of hazardous waste just lying around, ready to be blown up. Sure there is. Also, all hazardous waste is explosive, and also knows not to infect or kill the guy who shot the container to set it free. Oh, awesome. Random guards who totally didn't figure into the previous 10 minutes of this movie are showing up randomly, and are currently riding transportation that Ethan desperately needs. Tom Cruise on a motorcycle cliche. These bad guys hit everything except the exposed Luther. Why are any of the weapons you brought on this mission currently unloaded?
That punk put a hole in my Versace.
Okay, you wearing Versace on a mission, him hitting the jacket and not you, and you not taking the opportunity to use the showgirl's pronunciation of Versace. 3 sins in one. Gun pointing montage. I'd like to remind everyone that about, 15 minutes or so ago, she was dropped off in the center of town. In other words, bullshit on this shit right here, man. I'm no motorcycle expert, but I could swear the one Ethan's riding could outrun this car made specifically to carpool kids to elementary school. The car they were riding was also made of several live grenades, so I really don't understand how it kept up with that motorcycle now. Today's amazing science tip: SUVs cannot affect motorcycles when they ram them. Ethan does this without his shoes catching on fire, even though every other moment of friction in this movie has produced an explosion. So how did Ambrose get ahead of Ethan during this chase? Simple Avis truck, or merely more product placement? I think I saw it earlier. Yep, sure did. Thought it was an accident. Silly me. It takes 182 bullets fired in this chase scene before anyone hits anything important. Motorcycle joust. Movie ensures protagonist and antagonist are dressed similarly enough that you'll be even more confused than normal during the over-edited fight scene. Gotta be a rock around here somewhere on this beach. Oh yeah, here it is. Ethan survives this rock to the eyeball. Here's a movie trope I hate. One character in a fight pulls a blade and dramatically slices opponent in a way that is demonstrative and non-lethal. Just stab his dick! Ethan is in a vulnerable position and can totally be stabbed, but Ambrose goes with the I'm going to kick you because it makes me feel better technique. What the actual f*** am I watching? Man, what was it about this era? Gladiator, The Insider, always needed to have that forlorn female voice singing about how much it sucks to be alive. In case you forgot that Naya injected herself with that virus about 30 minutes ago. Thanks for the reminder. Well, that's a no for the knife, but I will punch you to death, so we'll see how that goes. The consequence of not stabbing that guy earlier continues.
You should have killed me.
Ambrose continues to be excellent at CinemaSins. We're gonna have to give that guy a job if he doesn't die because of his obvious delaying tactics. Anytime you need something on this beach, the beach provides it for you. Ambrose waits forever to shoot during all this bullshit.
Let's get lost.
And they lived happily ever after, because after all, she's in the next 3 chapters, right? Glad we spent so much time with this love story.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Seduce and Destroy will teach you the techniques to have any hard body blonde just dripping to wet your dock.
James, stop this. Stop it. I know what you're doing.
Really? What's that, dear?
You are just trying to show off the size of your
engine?
Houston, I have a bad feeling about this mission. Please expand. Okay, let me tell you a story.
Don't look so worried here. We're halfway there.
That's absolutely right. And a big turnout here from all corners of the Outer Rim territories.
When it comes to the dark arts, I believe in a practical approach. But first, which of you can tell me how many unforgivable curses there are?
Ted here's got relatives in Sydney, don't you, Ted?
I got the horse right here. The name is Paul Revere.
Hi, my name is Werner Brandis. My voice is my passport verified.
There's a shortage of perfect breasts in this world. Twould be a pity to damage yours.
Scorpion wins. Fatality.
Stay alive! I will find you!
It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence.
The good thing about audiobooks is that you can listen to them virtually anywhere. While rock climbing, on a motorcycle, on a helicopter, during a dangerous drag race, or even while watching your girlfriend make love to the bad guy. I'd be very surprised if Ethan Hunt isn't a huge fan of audiobooks.
Why you all in my ear talking a whole bunch of
Audible has over 180,000 titles available, and right now they're offering our fans their first book free. Just visit audible.com/cinemasins and sign up. It's that easy.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
No, it won't. It will be difficult, lemon difficult.
Now, if you like Mission Impossible 2, what's wrong with you? But regardless, you might find several interesting selections at Audible, like this book, narrated by Brendan Gleeson, who starred in MI2 as that salty, fake-dying racist guy. Or these books, narrated by Tandy Newton, who starred sorry, where was I? Oh yeah, or this unauthorized biography of Tom Cruise, or other things you might stumble upon while browsing. The point is, if you travel even 5% as much as Ethan Hunt does,
then you can give me a f***ing automobile, a f***ing Datsun, a f***ing Toyota, a f***ing Mustang, a f***ing Buick, 4 f***ing wheels and a seat.
Audiobooks are a great way for you to keep up with your favorite stories while keeping your hands and eyes free. So go to audible.com/cinemasins today and sign up to get your first book free. Go now, make haste.
Go, go, go! Go, go, go!